Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is August 7th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing just phenomenal. I can't wait. This is the week I've been waiting all year for.
What's that?
Plus the end of the Comcast Business Top 10.
They're all there. Everybody's assembled in Greensboro for the big top 10 chase of the year.
I've been paying attention all year for the Business Top 10. This is what I'm excited about. I'm a longtime supporter of Comcast. You know, it's just the synergy of Comcast and this landmark end to the PGA Tour calendar just has me over the moon.
This is probably Comcast's biggest week of the year with the Olympics, right? And you just wonder how much they're going to crowbar the business top 10 into this final weekend of Olympics coverage. Is Tarico in front of the Eiffel Tower just going to be giving you updates on Sanjay Im's positioning to capture the 9th spot in the business top 10? There's a big opportunity for the Comcast business. I don't think there's any opportunity for movement, but there's opportunity for promotion. I see Lowry and Sanjay are the only players in the business top 10 who have arrived and are present in Greensboro. This is the Tour Zone write-up. Akshay is within shouting distance at number 15. That seems to be stretching the limits of shouting distance. I don't know. 15. I guess if he wins, he jumps in.
No, he if he finishes like top 3, he's 16. You know, this is
his home game.
As you should know, he's got 1,600 points. You know. 1610.
I didn't know. I've got all sorts of points facts for you coming later about Cutthroat Corner.
1,610.
Okay.
1,610 points. All the golf fans know that. You know, they all know.
Context immediate. Yeah.
Hey, like the anybody's baseball team that's coming down the stretch. You know, Akshay's only 257 points below the top 10. It's like when your team's 8 games above 500, 4 games out of the wild card. These are things that golf fans know too. He's 1,610 points. He's only 257 points out of 10th place. This is the stuff. I mean, this is the pennant race. This is a pennant race of golf right here.
Apparently, Bobby Mack also has a chance at 17 to get into Comcast Business Top 10. Do you
know how many points he has? Could you take a guess how many points he has?
Well, you just gave me 1,600 at 15 for Akshay. So 17, I'm going to say 1,525.
Oh, so close. 1,535.
Well, there you go.
So he's good 32 out of 10th place. So he needs Lowry and M to shit the bed, and he needs to win.
You're talking about the pennant race. Can I read from you, PGAtour.com, one of the more preposterous cross-sport analogies I've ever read, heard, or seen in my lifetime from our old friend Rob Bolton, the Power Rankings, Ronnie Bob. Bolton, Big Shot Bob Bolton. Now, this was sent to me by a friend of the program, said I immediately had to read this, and I appreciate that friend of the program looking out. Leading the Power Rankings. If sports fans thought that photo finish in the men's 100-meter final of the Olympics was compelling, and it was, Noah Lyles of the United States prevailed by just 0.05 of a second, they'll come to realize that it was merely a tame primer for what's in store at the Wyndham Championship.
Where's the editor?
Now, I would like to believe that Big Shot Bob has his tongue firmly in cheek as he wrote that lead. But when you get in the depths and the throes of the global home on the other side of the moat, you know, the whole sense of reality could get a little warped. And maybe he thinks the 100-meter dash was merely a primer for the dash to the top 70. It would be wrong to label the 36th and final term of the regular season as dash to the finish line, but it's more of a heat when considering the long-term objectives. So that's where we're at as we roll, sprint, run, walk to the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro. But what you should do first, this is going to be an ad-heavy podcast, just putting it out there. Maybe we'll do 30 minutes of ads. What you should do first is run to the Pro Shop, sprint, whatever you want to do, to the proshop.thefriedegg.com. What are the particulars here, PJ? Can you tell me what I need to say? What I'm supposed to say? I guess it's our best
we
deal
got
on
the
hats
potato-
ever.
Yeah.
We got a deal on hats, and we got the potato chip shirt is coming out.
Potato chip shirt, St. Andrews shirt coming out, and then buy 2, get 1 free. Promo code HATS at checkout.
Ooh, good promo code. I like the promo code hats. Buy 2, get 1 free hat.
Keep it simple.
The nice
Hats
thing
for
about that
bats.
is you can mix and match. You could try something new with the hat. Like if you've been wondering, can I pull this hat off? This is the deal to try it out.
I'm gonna
I
put you
always
on the
wonder
spot
about that.
here. I'm gonna put you on the spot here, and I don't think we probably have the answer. Do buckets included in that? Do we know, or we don't know yet?
I
With
assume
buckets,
so.
because you're
It's a
talking
hat.
about variety. You're just gonna have to try it out at checkout.
I think the
and
free
then you'll
hats
figure it out.
the free hats
applies to all types of hats, visors, beanies, buckets,
There
and
we
so
go,
on. Everything.
PJ.
There we go.
PJ, you've been one of the great additions to this company and podcast in the short history. So there you go. You're on top of it. I love it. You come up with the answers. I would have never found that. So 2 for 1, or buy 2, get 1 free with hats. But we have the new shirt designs are slick. I've already gotten several offline requests from friends of the program to have me pull their size and style so it doesn't get sold out. St. Andrews routing map, some good colors. And I'm not going to do that. We don't give favors to friends out here. You got to be in the shop 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, which probably is past by the time you're listening to this. But the potato chip shirt and the St. Andrews routing are some
7 p.m. tonight?
I believe
Eastern?
so. Right.
Okay.
Right. And the sale ends Sunday, 8/11. So we've got that. We've got also, we should shout out our good friend Josh Pettit in the Mackenzie.golf. He wrote up Mackenzie's original golf architecture book.
Wow, we're going right off the top. Double
We're
ad.
doing multiple ads here.
This is in honor
we gave people
this is in honor of Comcast Business Tour Top 10 finishing. We're going to give you a couple ads off the top.
Gave you a Noah Lyles shot comp to the Windom. What do you have? Mackenzie.golf.
Yeah.
Josh Pettit, you get a special deal for fried egg, friends.
Josh is a wonderful Alistair Mackenzie historian, and he produced this book a couple years ago called The Mackenzie Reader, which was like this beautiful reprint of a lot of things that he wrote over time. Basically, like found all this stuff that he wrote in magazines and different things, put it together in this beautiful book with like some routing maps and everything. So now he's gone. He got the rights to reprint Golf Architecture, which is like Mackenzie's seminal first book. He used to take it around to every golf course that he was going to work at and give, the members and the greens shares this book. And it's like his thoughts on golf architecture. So this is it's gonna be an amazing book. He basically reprinted it, did the typeface, manually did it. One of the things I appreciate most about his books is like the paper and the it's just like a great book. Like you read the book and you're like, God, this is an awesome book. And he's gonna do a great job with it. This is I asked Tom Doak. There's a podcast coming out tomorrow on Friday, or next week. It'll be next week's episode. A listener question was, what book do you keep coming back to over your course of your career? What architecture book? Golf Architecture by Alistair Mackenzie was the answer. That's the book that he finds himself reading the most through his 40-year golf architecture career, is this book. So if you go to Mackenzie.golf, you can buy one of these. It's a limited run. I think he's doing 1,000 of them. And you get 10% off with the promo code FriedEgg. So if you use the promo code FriedEgg, it's a beautiful book. It's like definitely a collector's kind of type book.
He typed it all up himself, like retyped it in Mackenzie's. Yeah.
Manually reset the typeface. It's
yep.
Like what you get is like a lot of times with these, you can get a cheap version of this book. But like you'll get like shitty sketches, like, and the photo, basically just like a photocopy of the original, and it's just not very good. Or it was retyped in like in some foreign country, and it's done really shitty, or the paper sucks. Like the difference between like really good architecture books and the cheap reprints are. Like you just like lose a lot of quality with the sketches. It's just, so this is a really good book. If you're into the golf architecture books, this is a must have.
All right, we've given you a little taste of Wyndham Championship. I've got some more Cutthroat Corner possibilities. We obviously have the bubble at 70, with some guys lurking around that cutoff to make the playoffs, which we'll talk about. But let's lead our schedule for the week with the Olympics, women's Olympic golf tournament at Le Golf National, which we just saw finish with the men's. This is a Wednesday to Saturday scheduling, so they get done before that opening ceremony. I think everything's pretty much done Saturday. The men's basketball is Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday, is it the marathon? There's some like historic event that closes it out of the Olympics. It might be the marathon. I can't remember. That finishes as the last medal event. But this is a Wednesday to Saturday, 3 a.m. to noon, as it was for the men on Golf Channel throughout.
This is event of the week.
Americans are Rose Zane, Lilia Vu, and the reigning gold medalist Nelly Korda are your three Americans in the field. Other notables: Hannah Green, Brooke Henderson, Jin Yun Ko, Lydia Ko, Minji Lee, and then Vu and Zane, as I noted. So a good event, great event of the week. Seems, I think we came off Sunday with a ton of enthusiasm for the men's competition. This one has sort of been had buy-in, emphasis, prestige really from the jump in 16, and then certainly even in Tokyo without the fans, everybody showed, got Nelly as the winner, and it just is, and really probably larger grow the game potentials if we want to use a cliche. You remember Aditya Shuk, who kind of hitting at 225 out there in Tokyo, just like hanging on for dear life, and the potential for that. Like there are probably larger sort of proselytization efforts that could be made from the women's event, but a great event here, and has had buy-in from day one. Yeah,
awesome event. And just like the men, I think like one of the things that stands out, and I'm excited to see if it continues with the women, sensational winners. MB Park, like one of the Hall greatest famers of all time.
Yep.
And Nelly Korda on her way to a very great career. The Hall of Fame criteria is interesting.
Right.
I saw, isn't what's her name not qualified? Still
Lydia, I think.
Lydia,
right?
Yeah, I saw some article about like how an Olympic medal could help push her into the Hall of Fame. It's like what?
Lydia's silvered and bronzed in 16 and 21, I guess it was, but. So she's been on the podium both times, never in the top spot, though, for New Zealand. A great event. That'll be on each morning. Kind of just wake up to that. You have any tee times you want? Nelly's with Jin Yun Ko and Ruan and Yin. Rose Jane is playing with Hannah Green and Charlie Hall. Did you see the catnip around Charlie Hall?
She's smoking cigs. What did it have to do with? She can't
smoke cigs.
She can't.
Which kind of, makes sense. That's the Olympics, I guess. Although it's France,
she gonna be vaping?
I don't think there's any. I don't know what the difference is. Now you're getting way above our technical expertise, as we often do. I don't think she's doing anything.
You think she's going to be going in the porta potties and lighting them
like
up?
Angel Cabrera at Oakmont in 20 whatever that was.
Yeah.
No, she says it stinks. It helps me relax, and I can't. But I don't know that is it a performance enhancer? It doesn't seem like it. I don't know. What's the difference between that and I don't know, eating the meal with a bunch of creatine? I don't know. It's the line is always murky at the Olympics, but I'm sure that they're on top of it with the testing. By the way, Olympics Minute, PJ, before we recorded, you mentioned there was some sort of horse revolt going on.
The number one odds-on favorite, like greatest show jumper of all time, Henrik von Eckermann from Sweden. Wait.
So when you say show jumper, it's the person, not the horse.
Yes, the person.
The person's not doing any jumping. The horse is jumping. Okay,
this is
jumper.
Is the debate that
all
we've
right.
had for 2 weeks now.
This is bogus. I think there needs to be a horse union.
Henrik von Eckermann, was
we'll
crazy.
Give a voice to the voiceless.
Favored
Henrik von Eckermann sounds like a bad guy.
Well, we're about to find out that the horse, he's halfway through his run this morning. Again, like this guy, according to Twitter, is like crazy favored, like slam dunk gold medal winner. Just gets bucked by the horse halfway through the
According
run.
to Twitter.
That's it.
According
Like,
to Twitter, well, this is the most reliable place for facts and figures. But he was
According
the
to
heavy
X.
favorite.
the
And he
heavy,
got thrown
the heavy
off.
favorite got thrown off, got bucked halfway through his run. So that's it for him. So the horses, as has been hotly debated, do caddies get medals? Do the coxswains get medals? Do the horses get medals? Maybe there's a horse revolt going on against the unquestioned GOAT here.
Maybe there's a horse revolt going on. I love to hear that. Good job there on Olympics Minute. So the women, they'll be off 3 a.m. Wednesday. As you wake up listening to this, they will be off and running. I'm fascinated to see how, again, like the women play this event. I think it's, if we get some reliable data and could sort of compare and contrast what a quote unquote tight penal golf course meant for the men, what does it mean for the women? Like, is Maria Fassi just going to be all over the place, just sending it, and can she not do that, or how does it play? Is there going to be more tactical? Women, if we can get a little bit of data and compare and contrast, I think that's instructive on the future of a potentially rolled back game too for the men.
I was super interested in how the course plays out for the women. That was one of the things that I'm most excited to see. There's been like a lot of talk about like what a championship golf course should look like for women's golf. Their dispersions are just a lot tighter than men.
Mm-hmm.
They're more accurate. So with that, like a narrower course might make sense. I think this will be instructive as to, what I don't think this is going to bother them personally.
No, doesn't seem like it's going to be.
It's just
not. I mean, the winning score was 19 under. It's not like it was punching the men in the face either, but there was a considered approach at times for men's golf, at least last week. Continuing on with our schedule for the week. On the PGA Tour, we have the Wyndham Championship, the sprint across the last 2 meters in Greensboro. This is at Sedgefield Country Club. The top 70 players will get into Memphis, earn the right to go play Memphis in mid-August the following week for $25 million or whatever it is. I can't keep up with the purses. Notables in this field are Nick Dunlap, Harris English, Lucas Glover, the defending champ who's on the outside looking in. That sort of the summer of Sweaty Boy has come and gone and did not carry over into 2024. Lucas Glover, Brian Harmon,
superstar.
I know. He got that out of it. Form is not permanent, but his his Jupiter Link spot is forever. Brian Harmon, Billy Horschel, Sungjae Im, Kuchar, Woodland, and Zalatoris are among your notables. This is on Golf Channel 3 to 6 on Thursday and Friday, with Saturday and Sunday a little bit of CBS coverage. I believe this is CBS's finale. They had a little bit of FedEx Cup action last year. I don't think they have it this year. So I think this is their last call of the season. They are on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Historic event, it goes back to the 80s, been at Sedgefield a long time. Obviously more of a, not grip it and rip it, kind of maybe pull back, club down, wedge, putt well on Bermuda kind of fest. We've seen players like Siwoo, Tom Kim obviously has done well. I don't think he's in the field coming off the Olympics, despite his success here in recent years. But what
just
we do
a guy's
have,
in the field.
Just a guy.
Yeah.
First time in a while, I think he's played. He contended that one year, probably 4 or 5 years ago. He's 63rd in the FedEx Cup, so probably pretty safe to make it to Memphis.
You know how many points he's got, right?
No, I don't.
All the Spieth fans know where he's at. He's got 782 points.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. He's at 782.
70th. Do you know who's 70th right now?
Todd Watch.
Your guy, Todd.
He's probably in. Victor Perez is 71. Now,
Tough break
71
for Victor Perez after last week. Your great performance. No FedEx Cup points though.
Right, I know. I was wondering about that. I was thinking, I figured you were going to shout about that though, so I left that alone. Should you get FedEx?
I don't
Cup
think I'm
points
going to
at the
shout
Olympics?
about it. I don't think I'm going to shout about it. I just am going to highlight that he didn't get any points for that.
He got no points. 71 guys do get in. The 71st place does get in because of Grayson Murray, the late Grayson Murray spot. There will be 71. So I don't think 70 is like the actual cutoff this year.
So Perez is the bubble boy.
I love Nick Dunlap hanging on for dear life. He's won twice this year. I don't know. I guess we want to figure out how much we weight points, how much do we weight wins. He won an opposite field event and he won Amex, but
I think he's pretty safe. He's 71 points or 68 points ahead of Perez.
Okay. So sure, fine. He's safe. One thing I'll note. So this is it. This is the end of the season. 125 doesn't matter as much. You just you got to be 125 at the end of the fall, which I kind of like. Of course, it's good to be up in there and positioning yourself for exemptions in those fall events. But 70th is the real sort of number in play this week. I think it's almost as exciting as the playoffs themselves. Getting in here, I think there's some familiarity with Sedgefield.
Almost as exciting.
It certainly was last year with the JT element and the Ryder Cup and all that in play. I don't think we have quite that.
I think it's more
set up
exciting
this year. I'm sure you do. The 50 cutoff is an exciting one with all the signature perks that triggers. So that just adds more to Memphis, the importance of Memphis next week.
You know who's right now on the outside of the top 50?
I mean, several guys. But who are you specifically talking about right now?
Viktor Hovland.
He stinks. He's not had a good year. I'm not saying he stinks in general. He's not. We really overreacted to that 1 week of Valhalla. I thought your grades were exceptionally soft when you did grades with him and with Joseph Lamagna and Shackelford. He missed every cut.
Didn't I give him a D?
Oh, I thought there were like some B's in there or something. Here's PJ jumping in on the spot.
C minus, D plus.
He missed 3 cuts.
He had a chance to win one.
The Chipmunk got all that 1 week run, all this fluff around Valhalla.
You gave Viktor Hovland a C minus.
C minus. That's not. He almost won a major.
Like kind of,
almost, I guess.
What are you talking? He was on the 18th hole with a chance to win.
You're inflating. So you love Valhalla. That's how important that is to you.
Okay, whatever. You know what?
All right.
What
so
would
he's
you
on
give
the
him?
outside.
What would you give him, tough guy? You're the asshole.
D's get
grader.
degrees, as you said. D's degrees, as you've said.
You know who you are? You're the professor that gives people 14%, everybody, and then grades on a curve, just because you want to give somebody a 14%.
We'll get to Cutthroat Corner here in a minute. All right. What's your Hovland point?
How
He's
about
not
that?
playing well.
Do you think there's ever been a player that won the FedEx Cup and then missed Eastlake the next year? This could be FedEx Cup history right here.
There probably has been, I would guess, like Rose or something like that when he won.
No,
but this is the kind of this is the facts and figures that we all have on the tip of our tongue because the FedEx Cup is such a prominent.
I'm so excited for the FedEx Cup. Do you think we should do a little FedEx Cup pool?
I think you've mentioned this on a phone call or two, so I think you do. Yeah, we could get something going.
We should get into the FedEx.
We'll get some prizes going from friends of the program.
Can we do something this year?
Prizes. What?
Could we be the go-to FedEx Cup playoffs podcast?
You got to commit to it if you want to do it.
You want to go to
TPC Initech? You want to go to every
Cup
event?
Playoff facts.
Fact of the day. FEC fact of the day.
No player has ever won the FedEx Cup and missed Eastlake. Viktor
next year.
Hovland is in position to do so. That's the FedEx Cup fact of the day.
All right. Well, we're not there yet. This will
FedEx
be
Cup fact of the day. Ready for another one?
What?
No player has ever won twice on the PGA Tour and missed the playoffs. Nick Dunlap is in. There's possible Nick Dunlap doesn't make the playoffs.
Playoffs, as we know, playoffs in one year does not mean playoffs in another year.
You can't. It's a fact. It's a FedEx Cup fact.
That's true.
It's
true. Did you see? Going back to Olympics Minute, this is the kind of PGA Tour, discarding of history, smoke and mirrors game. You see the ACC every time, like a swimmer who went to Stanford or Cal, but isn't at Stanford or Cal. The ACC, the conference is like touting like champions, where champions are born, where champions are made. Like Katie Ledecky hasn't been. I don't think she's at Stanford. Hasn't been there in a while, but the ACC is tweeting about this is the most PGA Tour move of all time. Talking about, FedEx Cup winners at Akron, but they now play it at Memphis. Like no history whatsoever. Tiger winning the Rocket Mortgage Classic, but wait, no, it was, the Warwick Hills event. Nobody knows what anything means. Go ahead.
I have a disheartening FedEx Cup fact. Billy Horschel won the FedEx Cup and did not make it to Eastlake.
Did he make it to the BMW week before?
He played the BMW. He came in 55th.
Maybe that's the FedEx Cup fact. No players ever won. What good researching. Hey, I wanted to with the ACC talk. I'm in ACC country now.
Yeah.
And I was out to dinner last night with a couple big ACC fans. They've got season tickets at for basketball at Cal. That's a hot ticket. Let me tell you.
Golden Bears. Yeah.
Hot ticket.
I'm gonna have to come out for the BC game if they come over there for that one.
You
ACC stalwarts, Tobacco Road, BC versus Cal. Berkeley.
I did look up. I was looking up to see who the schedule. I mean, I'm pumped. ACC basketball coming to my neck of the woods.
That's good. Yeah.
It's way better than the Conference of Champions.
Oh boy! Now you're not winning friends up there in your coastal elite haven in California.
Well, it's ACC. Nothing's more coastal elite than the ACC.
Oh sure. Nothing at all. Yeah, it should be good. It should be an interesting collegiate athletics landscape, if not dystopian.
2024, 2025.
We're not. No. I'm not going in the Cal men's basketball schedule right now. I'm not doing it. No one cares about that. We're not doing it. It's probably not even set yet, quite honestly.
It's not. They don't have it up.
All right. Let's
what
do
a bummer.
Cutthroat.
Should I get on the season ticket? Should I get on the season ticket list?
I would go to StubHub and buy them for 25 cents the day of and not pay up front face value for Cal men's season tickets basketball. Let's do a little Cutthroat Corner. I'm looking at the field, 36 events. This is the big one. These guys fighting for their livelihoods of playoffs. So clearly, you just got to order 1 through 125. Who's ever doesn't come, show up. I think 30 of the top 70 or 40 of the top 70 are present, but you just got to fill it. This got to be a pure meritocracy, right? Last event to get in the playoffs. Nope, not quite. We have some Cutthroat Corner nominees here. Charlie Hoffman, who I know you popped hard when he lost that heartbreaker in Phoenix. You're like, I love that he's around, but if he wins, then we're stuck with Charlie Hoffman.
People are mad.
They were mad at you. Charlie Hoffman.
He's entered Cutthroat Corner?
No, because you can't give a guy who's had a playoff loss and he's 86 in the FedEx Cup, all that. So Charlie Hoffman, I believe, got 300 FedEx Cups from that P2 playoff loss, FedEx Cup points. He's currently at 497. So in the subsequent 20-some events, he's playing on a career money exemption. He's not done much at all.
What's DJ at this year?
ZJ, he's done
He's
okay.
on a career money exemption.
He is on a career money exemption, but he's done all right. Hoffman has done hardly anything in this. You were on the nose with that one. He had a T8 at the Barracuda and T4 at the Punta Cana Championship, and basically hasn't missed a cut or cracked the top 50 at any full field event or a full non-additional event opposite field event, whatever they call it since then. So I would just say you were on that one as you kind of popped him in his feel-good moment. Another Cutthroat Corner subject, not a final, is Jim Herman playing as a past champion of this event. His last real finish of note was
a past champion. You know,
T14
he outdueled
at last year's Honda
years ago, an iconic win.
T14 at last year's Honda really hasn't done anything. Is not really a PGA Tour status right now. I reached out to comment from his camp. They said, well, you know, this may be you better hurry to put him in Cutthroat Corner because this could be his final PGA Tour start. I said, well, this is the Cutthroat in action. I mean, I feel bad. I don't want to lose Hermie, former guest on this podcast, waxed and waned about playing with Woozy at Augusta. Great guest, a real credit to this podcast, but he's not really played. He qualified for the U.S. Open this year, hasn't played much on tour aside from opposite field events.
I got good news for you, Brendan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up, this is the week for the FedEx Cup. I'm trying to look up the FedEx Cup.
Oh, it's
PGAtour.com's not loading for me.
It's a mess. It's not been good. I've been researching all morning with bugs.
I think I have to go somewhere else for the FedEx Cup.
Not good.
Here we go. I got it up.
We have a past champ exemption. We have a career money exemption. We have major medical.
ZJ's 150. ZJ's 150 on the past champs. He's got some work to do.
JB Holmes is in on a major medical. You know, he had the famous wiener pool. And it just hasn't done anything.
John Bradley. Great.
Bradley.
Great scramble players.
Winning Calcutta's at, your local Nashville or whatever it was.
8
club.
handicap.
Yeah. So he's in, if this is the last event, why do we have these exemptions? But that's not it. Where I'm going with Cutthroat Corner, final Cutthroat Corner choice.
Wait, we don't get Cutthroat Corner in the playoffs?
We'll see. Well, I'm not making a claim either way. We might not. But where we're going, there are multiple PGA of America exemptions. Multiple PGA you have the section champ, I think Steve Bogdanov, and Braden Shattuck.
Braden Shattuck can play.
Well, he's the subject of Cutthroat Corner this week. Braden Shattuck.
Why are you going after the PGA Pro?
Look, we are on the record several times on this podcast as this might be our favorite organization in golf. Our club pros who are at the front lines doing the work for all of us and keeping this game vibrant and alive. But if you win, I spoke to someone at the tour, wanted clarity about this. If you win the PGA Club Pro, National Pro, you get 6 starts on the PGA Tour the subsequent year.
That's great. Great for them. They're the best
6
club pro.
Starts. This is the last event to get in the playoffs. And we got this guy. We have multiple PGA of America exemptions. Braden Shattuck, this is his 6th and final start. He did the Cognizant
Why do you hate club pros? Why do you hate club pros?
I've been on record several times. People are going to twist my words into, I hate charity. I hate Cognizant Classic at the Palm Beaches this year. Cut. Corrales Punta Cana. Cut. Myrtle Beach Classic, cut. ISCO Championship, cut. 3M Open, cut. Now he gets his Windom, his 6th and final Windom. Those are a lot of opposite field events. I just think this is nothing against Braden Shattuck. This is an insane exemption to have as guys are fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Agree? Disagree? Or are you just going to say I hate the club pros?
I mean, this guy's living out his dream. He won the club pro. He gets 6 starts on the big tour, and you're just putting him in Cutthroat Corner for a guy who won the club pro this year. Now, maybe
we're talking about the PGA Tour. We're not talking about.
You're blaming him.
I'm not blaming him. I'm saying it's an insane exemption. Why do you get 6 starts?
Why not?
I think Ben Pollard won this year. That's kind of nuts. I mean, he's played the Punta Cana and Myrtle Beach and ISCO, and he can't make the cut, or he hasn't.
He
did make the cut at the PGA.
I mean, here's the thing. Should there be no
PGA?
Should there be no PGA of America exemptions ever?
The section? I think I'm okay with the section champ getting in.
Okay, if you're okay with the section champ getting in, this guy won the whole thing.
It's a one-off. It's a one-off out of
Listen,
145 or whatever many are in the field that week.
You need to be. This is. I think
Six
if you want to go down this road, your take has to be that there's no PGA of America spots ever. And you know what? Like, I could get on board with this. This is a PGA Tour.
Well,
it's not like, hey, Timmy won the flag football, the flag football local 25 and older flag football league. They get to play for the Bears this week. That's not how it works. The basketball, Jimmer Fredette's not getting called up because he was on the USA 3-on-3 team at the Olympics. He's not getting a spot on the NBA roster, right? So winning, this opens up a bigger question. Does winning a section deserve a spot in a PGA Tour event?
yes.
Now, defenders will say you get one spot.
One out of 140, 150, whatever it is.
It's not a big deal. But the other side is this is the most competitive tour. This is the pinnacle. Supposed to be the pinnacle of golf. And I think you could zig and say, no, you don't. Now, you could be on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence. But if you personally are on the side of, yes, this local section pro gets a spot, I have no problem then. You can't be against the guy that won the whole thing getting 6.
6?
What's
6
wrong
starts?
with that? He won
He's
the
already
national
in the PGA.
championship.
He gets in the PGA. That's a major. Of course, this goes back to the merger, right? The break off and how are we going to break up and make a tour pro tour and a club pro when the PGA of America and the PGA Tour split off. So there's still remnants of that deal. I don't know. There's plenty of options. Past champ category, major medical. There's plenty of options. This was just a new one I wanted to bring to the fore on Cutthroat Corner. Nothing, absolutely nothing against Braden Shattuck, his ability, his success, and his accomplishments. That's your Wyndham Championship.
Is Ricky playing this week?
Fair question. I don't have that on the tip of my tongue, but I can look it up for you here. I don't see him in the field. Is he in the field, PJ? No. Where is he on the FedEx Cup? He's 104th.
104th.
Good night.
See, to me, here's a rule that should exist.
Oh, God.
If you miss the FedEx Cup, if you miss and they want to give you a sponsor exemption into an elevated event next year, if you don't play the Windom, you shouldn't be able to accept a sponsor exemption.
You don't care. You don't want it. It shows you don't want it. It's an interesting take. It's like
you're
the live
focused
guys
on the club pro
not trying to qualify.
National champion who gets 6 spots for winning the national championship.
You're focused on Ricky.
And you missed the shiny Mr. Sponsor exemption for 2025 will be Ricky Fowler, Sir Ricky Fowler.
Sir.
And I will
even knighted.
I will ask the question of, if you don't play the Windom and you're outside the top 70, should you even get a chance for sponsors exemptions?
When was the last time Ricky played? I wonder. Was he in the Open? Probably.
He played the Rocket Mortgage for sure.
He did not play the Olympics. I wonder if he played the 3M Open.
I don't think he played the 3M. I think he played the Rocket. Maybe
he played the Open Championship, Scottish, and Rocket. So yeah, he's been off since Troon.
Could be off. Could be off for a couple months. He's got a little vacation.
Yeah, well,
I would like that personally.
He's done well for himself.
2-month hiatus, sabbatical. Come back in the fall. No, you're getting 8 sponsors exemptions into signature events next year.
He's accomplished a lot in his life. And if you want to accomplish a lot in your day, you go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. We're cutting the Ricky test course off at the knees there. Do you have something else you want to say?
I was going to ask how many years of signature event sponsor exemptions would Ricky get?
I don't know. Couple. A few. We
5.
got news on the signature events coming to Philly cricket here in a minute. But yeah, he'd get a year, or how many years worth?
How many years worth? How many years
I think he would
be
linger around on the outside.
Auto sponsor exemption for signature event.
He'd find his way into them for the next 3 to 4 years if he's not qualified. So, but goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Use promo code SGS. You get 15 or 20% off. Use the code SGS. You get 20% off. This is a way to support the podcast, support the fried egg golf as we travel. We're booking some travel as we go out collecting acorns. You know, the winter comes soon. We need to start planning our travel to shoot some courses, see some courses, collect items for you to peruse ahead of next year. Supporting the podcast, supporting our travel. You can do that while also acquiring a consumable good that you will enjoy. I had my same neighbor who was over following Toasty, take my good. I was out of town at the beach. I said, I got Good Walk delivered. Just take it for yourself. Grab it off the stoop if you could. And he came back. I think he knows his coffee with rave reviews for it. I'll have to ask him if it's better than the stuff he's getting over in Paris right now. But he had rave reviews for the Shotgun Start blend. And you can try it out at goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Again, use that promo code SGS to get you 20% off. If you're a subscriber, we're going to have some more giveaways for you here around the FedEx Cup, President's Cup. But you need to be a subscriber, and you get 10% off every order if you're a recurring subscriber there. Goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun.
Do you want something that just came across my desk?
Sure, always.
Women's Olympics story.
What?
History. This is quite a tale.
What is it? History.
All right. This came from the esteemed historian at Chicago Golf Club. Just 5 minutes ago, hit my inbox. This is an amazing story. I just skimmed it. All right. Before 1900, a young Chicago debutante named Margaret Abbott came into the Chicago golf community when her mother, a widow who worked as a journalist and author, joined the club. Margaret learned to play golf at Wheaton from C.B. McDonald, first U.S. Am Champ, H.J. Windom, second and third U.S. Am Champ, and later McDonald's son-in-law, that was Windom, was later son-in-law of McDonald, and Jim Fowlis, second U.S. Open champion and the Chicago golf professional. She got good enough to compete in some local events. In 1899, the two women traveled to Paris so that Margaret could study art. While there in 1900, the World's Fair was going on, as well as a very obscure athletic competition. They saw a handbill announcing a golf event north of Paris. They went to play. Margaret beat 11 other women, some wearing high heels, shooting 47 for 9 holes. She was given a porcelain bowl, and she apparently thought she'd won the Paris City Championship. She came home, married a famous Chicago journalist, had a family, and died in 1955. In about 1980, her then son received a phone call from a U.S. Olympic Committee historian, Paula Welch, asking if he knew that his mother was the first female American gold medalist in any sport.
Whoa.
So she thought she won the city, the Paris.
Yeah.
She won the Olympics.
That's crazy. First female gold medalist.
American gold medalist in any sport.
Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky. Nope, it was a golfer.
Margaret Abbott.
That's the history of the women in the Olympics on the American side. How about
that?
The
obscure competition was the second modern Olympic Games and the first in which women were allowed to compete. Among the 200-plus visitors with whom I've toured the clubhouse with since 2021, the one story that stops people in the tracks is the story of our Olympic champion, Margaret Abbott.
Good stuff.
How crazy is that story?
That's nuts. Didn't know that she won a gold medal. That's crazy. Old Margie. I love that.
Marge Abbott.
Love that. Who's your one and done pick for the Windom?
That's it. You're going to go back to the Windom after that.
Well, you came in hot with your story. What do you want me to? What do you want me to say to that?
Just
It's an incredible story.
Do you want to go back?
You need to put a bow on things. We got to do Champions
put a bow
Tour
on
too.
Do you know what Ricky's best finish is this year?
What?
What do you think his best, like the finish, his best finish is?
I don't know. At T14.
Close. T18 at the Heritage.
God, remember he like figured it out, or we thought that, and he won Detroit and did all, playing well. He was on the Ryder Cup not too long ago, like 9 months ago. Yeah, not great.
Not great.
Well, he's out of the playoffs. Who's your pick for the Windom?
I'm going Sung Jae.
I'm going with the guy who knuckles up, knuckles down, whatever it is, when crunch time. He's on the line, playing for his season. Brendan Todd sets up perfectly. 70th. I'm going Todd Watch.
Course for Todd.
Course, you're damn right it is. I'm going with Todd Watch. 70th. He's going to not only just play his way in, he's just going to win. Play his way to East Lake with a victory.
I think this week the tour should make them wear like bibs while they play.
Oh yeah,
with numbers on them.
Something
and they should change the numbers every hole. Yeah. It would be sick.
That sounds logistically feasible. Changing the numbers every hole on a bib?
It's a bib. It's like a thing on their back or something.
An electronic board or something on the caddy or on the bag. Like the Magic Sticks have that placard on their bag that changes.
Is Lyft playing this week?
No, I think they're Greenbrier next week. All right. Elsewhere, schedule for the week, we have the Boeing Classic at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. They're getting down to it in the Schwab Cup too. That's the yearly stop in the Pacific Northwest. Everybody says there's no pro golf in the Northwest. They overlook the Boeing Classic. Been a tough time. I wouldn't say Boeing's the best title sponsor to have this year, but they are still there chipping in for the senior event up in the Pacific Northwest. Alker, Ames, Choi, Couples, Furyk, Langer, Singh, Toms, and Weir are in that one. That's on, Golf Channel primetime, 8 p.m. Eastern finish out west. And then last but not least, this week we have the USGA, the U.S. Women's Amateur at Southern Hills. That has already started the stroke play event as you've listened to this. That ends the 11th on Sunday. This will be on Peacock Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then when you get down to the ends of match play brackets, Saturday and Sunday, it's on Golf Channel from 3 to 6 p.m. That's a great event. Women's AM at Southern Hills. You have a pick for that, do you not?
We gotta go. We gotta go with Katie Craig.
Yeah,
she's. I think she's leading the elite women's amateur points list.
Okay.
Fried egg enthusiast. She's written for the website.
Yeah.
She made a deep run at Bel Air. I think she got to the round of 8 at Bel Air or 16. Yep. Yeah, she's having an amazing summer, and best of luck to her. It's right. I think she was the medalist at the women's Western Am on Wentia a couple weeks ago. She's playing really great golf. So she plays golf at Western Kentucky. And she has a couple years left. So yeah, we're rooting for Katie Craig.
Great event at Southern Hills. The women's
Southern Hills is awesome too.
Yeah, it's a good spot there in Tulsa. I don't know if I want to play there August 10th and 11th. Did you
see the weather forecast this week?
Yeah, it's like 102 degrees. Yeah.
What was it? They called it the furnace or something at the old U.S. Opens?
Goosens. Yeah, when the one that Goosen won, I think, was especially hot. It's always been. Yeah,
you know what hot. Historic event happened at Southern Hills, right?
What's that?
It's where Mark Brooks said he had all the shots, or not Mark Brooks, Woody Austin said he had all the shots that Tiger had.
I thought you were going to say Patrick Reed got mad about the chorus playing favorites with Tiger. He didn't get his personal tour.
That happened too. Kerry Cosby was playing favorites.
History. A lot of inane history that we like. from Southern Hills. News, real quick. Let's get to news. What do I have here? The new European Tour Ryder Cup, or new European team Ryder Cup qualifications lean pretty heavily. The European Tour enthusiasts are not happy necessarily about this qualification process, essentially starting at the Bedford British Masters, the end of this month, I think, at the Belfry. Starts then through August, mid-August of next year. Major championships. Essentially, the Euro and World points list is done, kaput. There's one points list. The major championships get 5,000 points. Next year's signature events and the players in FedEx Cup playoffs get 3,000 points. Those are not European Tour events, I would note. DP World Tour Rolex Series events get 2,000. Regular FedEx Cup events get 2,000. So those are on a par with the Rolex Series. Are the same.
So the 3M is equal
gets
to
the same as the Dubai or Scottish Open,
the John Deere, the Butterfield.
Signature get 3,000 more than Rolex Series events. Travelers, Harbortown, these other things. Back nine events get 1,500 points. I think those are kind of the race to Dubai, the last events at the end. The Global Series events and opposite field events each get 1,000 points. So some people are mad, like this is the end of the European Tour. Like, look, this reflects the reality on the ground. All right? The best European players are playing on the PGA Tour. You can lament that. You can be wistful about what once was, but it's silly to try and assign more points or equal points to whatever the Made in Himmerland deal than the Travelers or whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying that's necessarily like appealing or tasteful to me, but to suggest this is what does it, this is what kills the European Tour is silly. Like, the reality of the situation is you want the best players that are eligible from continental Europe and the Isles. And if they're playing and they're doing well in the events with the bigger fields, you should probably weight that as such. I don't think there's any silver bullet for how you weight it, but I don't know. This is an attempt to do so. And they don't it's not all PGA Tour heavy. Like, if it's opposite a Rolex Series event, I don't think you get any points. For the PGA Tour event, like, you need to, if you're a European Tour member, you should be playing the Rolex Series. It's kind of how they're, I think, going for it. But certainly weights the signature events for the European team and majors. So an interesting development. I just don't want to hear the wails about this is the end of the European Tour. Like,
it's long gone.
Been the situation for a while. Last bit of news:
the Corn Ferry Tour, Eastern Corn Ferry Tour at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. Whatever, but let's not.
How about no live points? How about them keep holding? They keep holding the live guys down.
Live guys are eligible to play on the Euro Tour. They can get their points. I think there. I don't know. It seems hard to figure out how much to give for your 54-hole finish at whatever when you don't know the fields necessarily. But that's that. Last bit of news, we have the Truist Championship is coming to Quail Hollow, but first it's going to lead it off at Philadelphia Cricket Club. I believe we had that one. I believe we were on record with that a few months ago with a follow-up in recent weeks. That is going to Philly Cricket Club with Quail Hollow hosting the PGA next year.
Great golf
Truist,
course.
I think I saw $25 million a year for 7 years. Is the contract. I mean, it's a signature event. We got
to get them over on the shotgun start.
Sponsor, the official banker.
Tell them what we got going on over here.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Truist?
Truist?
Trust? I don't know, but they got $150 million to throw at a signature event. So I don't know. I don't know, bro. Quail Hollow, sure, go for it. But Philly Cricket will be cool next year. Little switch up, going to a market they don't go to every year. Tillinghast Classic, little different in Quail Hollow. Guys will probably chew it up. Wouldn't you expect that, Andy? They'll probably chew it up. We'll talk about that next May.
I don't know.
or
They
whenever that's scheduled.
that held up to Bernie Longer a few years ago in the seniors. PJ would know that since he's our expert senior.
I mean, imagine
tour
it'll be
correspondent.
soft, right? Going to Philly in early May. If
No,
they're
it'll
still
be
doing it the
good.
week
It's a good time to
before the
go.
Okay. All right.
PJ, you ready for the Champs Tour to be back on? You had a nice little week off last week.
Ridge.
I know it's been a while, but we're ready to get back into it. And now we have to run the ad comparison between the Senior Open, a major championship, and just a normal weekend here. So
You think there's going to be a Rolex ad?
I don't know. What did we get? We got like Mercedes-Benz or something crazy last time, and Pods. I remember Pods was a big standout.
The moving thing?
Yes,
I
the
was out of
moving.
town for this.
You missed that.
I
That
missed
was
this.
your
Okay.
assignment, but it was
Okay.
Pods and Mercedes-Benz and Blue Chew was on there. It was pretty
God.
nuts.
It's stealing my kids' innocence with these Blue Chew ads. This is ridiculous. I mean,
You can't miss this Sunday recording. You know.
No, I'll be
Because
here.
we wouldn't be able to survive without Champs Tour Minute.
I'll be
bring
here.
some Boeing puns for Champs Tour Minute. Like he blew
You gotta
the
watch
doors
it on
off,
Saturday.
You know,
You gotta
that
watch it
kind
on
of thing.
Saturday because we're not gonna be recording on Sunday. We're not gonna record after coverage ends on Sunday, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be ahead of the curve on Sunday. We're not waiting till 8 p.m. Sunday for whoever to putt out in Washington. Not happening. All right, everybody, enjoy your Wednesdays. We will talk to you on Friday.